Welcome to the Gorilla 7 video series. In this lesson, we're going to use the episode feature in Gorilla, including how to add another screenplay file to your existing schedule and creating a stripboard for multiple episodes. Gorilla allows you to specify an episode number to each breakdown sheet. You don't have to use this field at all, but if you're going to shoot several episodes of a series, with any crossover of shooting similar locations from one episode to another, this could be very useful. Let's first import a script for a series, which I will call Episode Sample. After the script imports, notice next to the scene number there is a new field called Episode, which is by default empty. I want this set of breakdown sheets to be tagged as Episode 1. Select the Episode field, and then click on the New Episode button. I will enter a number here, 1. I will simply call it Episode 1 and leave the notes empty for now. Go ahead and select the episode for this breakdown sheet. Before we go on, let's turn on Episode Display in the Scene Navigator. You do this by clicking this checkbox here, Show Episode Number. So now you can see in the Scene Navigator, Scene 1 is also attached to Episode 1. But I want all the scenes that I just imported to be tagged as Episode 1. To do this, select the Breakdown pull-down menu, and then select Episode, and then replace episode number. Go ahead and select the phase if one exists. Since I just imported this screenplay, I don't have a phase created yet, so I will leave it empty. And then select the episode and click OK. Now the episode for all scenes are flagged as 1. Before we continue, let's create a production phase, and I will show you why that is important when working with episodes. A production phase is a set of shoot dates for a group of breakdown sheets. There is an entire lesson on creating shoot days, so I will do this quickly, but I strongly recommend watching that tutorial. Select the Shoot Days button. I'll create a phase called Principal Photography, enter a few shoot dates, then select Create Single. So now we have all scenes attached to the phase Episode 1 and flagged as Principal Photography here. Let's create another phase called Second Shoot. It can be the same set of shoot dates or a completely different set. Okay, now notice that even though I created the second phase, it did not attach any of the existing breakdown sheets to that phase. They are all still attached to the Principal Photography phase. You can check this by clicking on the List button on the breakdown sheet screen, which will show you all your scenes in a list view. And here, in this column, you can see that all scenes are still attached to Principal Photography, and all scenes are still attached to Episode 1. Next, let's import another script that is supposed to be Episode 2. From the Screenplay drop-down menu, select the Add Screenplay option. I don't need to save the schedule first, but this is strongly recommended in case you import something you don't want to import and can then load up your saved schedule. And then I'll select Import. You will be asked which phase to import the scenes to, and I will select the first phase we created, which is Principal Photography. This is the important part here. You are asked if you want to attach these new scenes to an episode. I want to attach them to a new episode, so I'm going to create a new episode and call it Episode 2. I will select that episode in the list and then select the new screenplay file. In this case, a different one than the first one. After the import, let's take a look. If I scroll down to scene 20, which is the first scene in the screenplay that was just imported, notice it is attached to episode 2, and so are all the scenes after it. Let's modify this a bit. Let's say I want episode 2 scenes to begin with scene 1. To do this, from the Breakdown drop-down menu, select Find Breakdown Sheets. In the episode search field, enter 2, then click Perform Find. Now, in this list view, go to scene 20 and change it to 1. From the File menu, select Renumber Scenes. Now, go back to the Breakdown Sheets screen and notice that episode 1 ends on scene 19, and episode 2 begins on scene 1. Okay, there's more, so stay with me. Now, let's create a stripboard for our schedule. Click the Stripboard button and create a new board. You can call it whatever you'd like. I'll call it Default, and attach it to the Principal Photography phase, and then select Create Board. What this means is that all breakdown sheets that are attached to the Principal Photography phase will be displayed for this board, regardless of the scene number or the episode number. Notice in the second column here, it shows the episode number, and then a dash, and then the scene number. I'd like to change this label here to show episode also, so I'm going to do that real quick. I can do that by going into the Stripboard Print Design, selecting the Label tab, and then changing this label to Episode. Okay, now let's say that I want to shoot all the apartment scenes regardless of episode at the same time. So here are a couple from episode 2. I'm going to move them here, and I'm going to create a banner called Apartment Scenes. And some from episode 1, and I'll clump these together. So there are apartment scenes from both episode 1 and episode 2 on the same board. In this way, you can schedule multiple episodes on the same schedule. So, as you can see, you can use the Add Screenplay feature along with the episodes on the breakdown sheet screen to schedule multiple episodes on one stripboard. When you print certain reports, and if you go to the print screen and select the Specify Which Episode to Print checkbox, you can specify which episode to print on reports. That's a wrap. Have a great shoot.